Hello. Thank you for listening to this webinar, How to Create Financial Success. This is something which is in everyone's mind, something that affects all of us. Indeed, we need money to live. And so, how do we work with that? What does it mean to you? Well, there's a gentleman by the name of Hunt, H.L. Hunt. He's a famous Texas oil man in the 50s. And supposedly, this is what is recorded, that he actually said something which, to a certain extent, has affected many people. He said, money is just a way of keeping score. You see, I think he was wrong. The pursuit of wealth is not a game. It is the means by which you achieve four things. And these things are important to understand and to follow. These are the things that we need to know how to go about and what to do. One is security, the desire to protect yourself and your loved ones from unknown possible future calamity. That's a good reason to build a monetary assets and to know what to do. The second is physical comfort. Spike Milligan, a gentleman who said, money can't buy you happiness, but it does bring you more pleasant form of misery. Of course. Another one is the free time. Wealth means that you don't have to wait in lines, following your own agenda and spending your hours in the pursuit of your own desires, not those of another. Lastly is the peace of mind, knowing that you are prepared for any curves that life might throw at you. And this will bring you confidence, tranquility, satisfaction. Your financial success should be translated into a series of financial milestones, specific assets or levels of net worth to be reached at a certain age. For instance, you might want, at a certain age, whatever that may be, 36, 46, whatever age you choose, to have enough money for your children's college education, or pay off your home, or have the amount of composition and financial characteristics, or your financial assets will necessarily need to vary, but you'll want something that's left in there. So I've prepared a few core financial principles, I call them. I have to make this disclaimer at this point. I'm by no means a financial expert, or am I qualified to give any financial advice. I'm certainly not able to guarantee to you that you will reach your personal milestones, but I would like to share with you some principles and key practices that many of my clients have followed and have thereby improved all their odds and achieved their objectives. Here's number one. Spend less than you earn. This is something which is absolutely mind-boggling if you are able to do that. That's the first principle. It's easily the hardest to implement and the most essential to your success. However, it is crucial that you understand the difference between the need and a want. For instance, you may need a reliable method of transportation to move you from one location to another, while you want the newest luxury model of an auto with leather seats and GPS and everything else that comes with it. Don't be seduced by the false promises of these advertisers and the salesmen that you'll meet everywhere. They'll tell you, this is what you need to have. Don't go for that. Use your money for essentials and have the excess for the future. The time for extravagance is after you have reached your goals, not before. Here's number 2 on my list. Trust your instinct. No one has your interest in mind to the same degree that you do. No one. Because it's your money. It's what you worked for. This is what you're all about. You and your family will be the ultimate beneficiaries, or, God forbid, the victims of your financial decisions, or those that are made on your behalf by anybody. For that reason, you should be careful about the investments or any actions that you're taking. You need to fully understand and be in total agreement with what you're doing at all times about your money. You need to know it, understand it, agree with it, and like it. Here's something else. You have to know that you have to fulfill the responsibility to your loved ones. Remember, you're not the only one in this boat. If something happens to you, such as a serious illness or a disabling accident, even, God forbid, a premature death, other people, your family, members, friends, will be affected emotionally and financially. You may want to consider purchasing insurances, maybe health insurance or life insurance, and you'll need to speak to your agent about that. Disability insurance is also something good to have, especially for doctors. Some of my clients have peace of mind buying that. And these are concepts that you'll need to review. Here's number 4 on our list, and that is to establish an emergency cash fund. So many of my doctors, when they start getting into the process of developing the clinic and growing, they're just spending money left and right. Then they say, wow, we've got all this money. We now can buy a second home. We can go on vacation. We could buy other things that we want. No. The key is to establish an emergency cash fund. At any given time, you have to know that difficult situations can arise and many things can happen. Most analysts suggest that the amount of funds in your emergency fund should be at least an amount equal to a minimum of 6 months' income, and in a cash way or in savings, whatever you want to do with it. Make sure you confirm, however, with your financial advisor specific to what it is that you do, what your needs are. How much do you have? What are your assets? What are your liabilities? Do you own your home? All of those things will make a determination and will help you correct that amount that you'll need to suit your needs. Here's number 5 on our list. And that's something to remember because that's important. I was told about this years ago, and it saved me for many, many, many years of having a headache or at least the type of stress or anxiety that you would feel. Make time your friend. This is important. Make time your friend. Recognize that financial security for most people is the result of a lifetime of accumulation, not a lucky event or a sudden miracle. There is no magic figure out that you can hand out all kind of millions of dollars and all the investments are going to be like Apple or Microsoft. It doesn't work like that. Time, however, and consistent investment can result in a very large return, and you'll sleep peacefully. You'll be happy with what you've got. It's not often what you get that matters, it's how you get it. And it'll make a difference in your life, to live a life of peace. The word to use here is equanimity, tranquility of the mind, knowing that you've done the right thing. But at the same time, you have to be smart. So number 6 on my list, I've added diversify your investment. And you have to make sure you diversify to balance the risk and the reward. You'll have to know that. And you'll speak again to your people about this, the people that can help you do this. When you have an adequate insurance and also an emergency fund that I just mentioned, it may be time for you to consider other type of investments. Now, of course, there's a wide area of possible investments, each of them with different investment characteristics. Many of my clients should know and carefully and successfully invested in real estate, for instance. And it could be quite popular with many of you. First of all, it's got all kinds of special income tax benefits. And regardless of the type of investment that you make, on top of that, remember that all investments are volatile. You hear that word and remember that word clearly. It means it goes up and it goes down. And it's based on the number of type of buyers and sellers at any specific time. These things can make a difference. You need to make sure that you understand that. Here's lastly on our list. Relax and take the long, certain road to financial success. Relax. Enjoy it. This is your life. You only have one opportunity in life to live a good life. You don't want to live an unlived life. You don't want to wake up one morning and say, I messed it all up. You don't want to do that. You want to know that what you're doing is the right thing, and if you've made a mistake, accept it and go for it. Don't worry about it. It happens. These things happen. All kinds of things happen. The question is how you react to it. The ability to accept the unknown and to cope with the unexpected is very scary. Everyone has a different level of risk tolerance, which can vary from day to day within a single person. And if you have any investments, or for whatever reason, you might be considering an investment that will keep you up at night, worrying about its outcome, you may want to reconsider and get rid of it. There are too many other viable investment opportunities for you to be concerned about that. They'll be available. They'll meet your objectives. But at least you won't lose sleep or you won't suffer over that. And if for whatever reason, and it does happen, and I don't wish it on you, but if for whatever reason, God forbid, misfortune occurs, here's what you could do. Lock yourself in a room and scream as loud as you want, as loud as you want. Take a deep breath and make the best decision you can based on the facts available to you at that moment. And there are a few things that can't be remedied. Just know that, including bad investments. That's just what it is. If the bad investments gave you bad returns, then just know that. Remember that at any given time, and this is something which is important to know, because I don't have control of that, you don't have control of that, none of us have control of it. At any given time, achieving success is a process. This process must be reviewed, and it must be understood, and it must be at all times felt. This is something that you'll have to live with. If this is something you want, you'll achieve it. Remember that attaching financial security often takes the greater portion of your life, and there are no shortcuts. If you made good choices and you've avoided most of life's financial disasters, you will spend the rest of your life living of the fruits of your investments, possibly leaving even an estate for your children. This is what you can do. Here's a final world, something which is important for you to understand. And I want to say this because I want you to feel comfortable. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not an accountant, I'm not an attorney, but I am a married man. I'm a father, and I have a wonderful family. I'm also a grandfather, and I am the senior consultant to America's largest management firm for practicing doctors throughout the country. We have over 1,256 centers in 45 states. And most of our doctors, most because some of them are newer, but doctors, hundreds of them, whom I work with, and I can say unequivocally that our success has been greatly due to the fact that we operate unmatched clinics, treating thousands of patients, all the while carefully managing our assets. And I think you should do the same. We can do it, you can do it, that's for sure. There's no difference whatsoever. And it can be done if it's properly done in the way that you think is appropriate according to the advisors that you have. As always, I wish all the best for you, and I look forward to hearing good news above and beyond. So let's make it happen, and God bless you in everything you do. Thank you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell to get my latest update.